This is the Barbados Today afternoon news for Tuesday, March 27th. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. Our top story this afternoon, police are investigating an unnatural death at the River Bus Terminal. Police spokesman Rodney Innes says the victim succumbed to its injuries at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital this morning. Barbados Today will bring you more details as they become available. This is a second such unnatural death in as many days. In other news, a Christchurch man is due in court today charged with the murder of Laura Springer of St. Lawrence Road, Christchurch. 58-year-old Anderson Mullin of Hearts Gap, Christchurch is expected to appear in court before the Oistins Magistrate Court in connection with last Monday's incident. Police are seeking the public's assistance in locating two men who are wanted for questioning on a number of serious matters. They are Adrian O'Brien Williams of Henley Street, St. John, and Ryan Pearson Griffith of Josie Hill, St. Lucie. Both men are advised that they can present themselves to the Criminal Investigation Department at the District A police station or the nearest police station, accompanied by an attorney at law of their choice. Lawmen are asking anyone who may know the whereabouts of Adrian Williams or Ryan Griffith to contact the Criminal Investigation Department at 430-817189 or the District A police station at 430-7246 or 430-7295. You can also call the police emergency number 211 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477 or the nearest police station. Moving away from police news now, Labour Minister Dr Esther Byer-Suckoo is warning Barbadians that the country could lose its political stability, and she told a workshop on social dialogue this morning that the island's political process must therefore be guarded jealously. Byer-Suckoo was at the time outlining the fundamental areas that impact the current tripartite arrangement.
We would see administrations change, but government or government process continues, or society or community continues. That kind of political stability is something that I would encourage all of us to hold on to. Again, something else we have to guard jealously, because it is something that if we're not careful, we can lose it. But we need to ensure that in spite of the fact that many at the table, for example, I'll bring this to the social partnership arrangement, many at the table in our social partnership arrangement would have their own political affiliations. Indeed, many have political aspirations. But at the end of the day, because of our political stability, or perhaps this is what causes our political stability, we put Barbados first. So for most of the time, we put aside or political perspective. Yes, we take them up again, and then after general elections, we realize, okay, that exercise is done. Now we have to move on with getting Barbados developed. So we must not allow politics to divide us.
The workshop is a joint undertaking of the Barbados Employers Confederation, the Caribbean Employers Confederation, and the International Labour Organization. Director of the Department of Emergency Management, Kerry Hines, is calling on individuals and organizations alike to make the necessary preparations for this year's hurricane season. Hines' appeal this morning comes just under 3 months before the start of this year's season. Speaking on the sidelines of a regional review workshop this morning, Hines told reporters that Barbados must remember the devastation caused by last year's powerful hurricanes in the region.
We would have learned a lot of lessons from last year's impacts, and indeed throughout the region we would have had multi-island impacts, which unearth a number of issues which we really need to deal with. We really need to rethink our response and come up with practical recommendations for implementation going forward, because at the end of the day we look to ensure that level of community, national and regional resilience.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
I'm Professor Andrew Rose, the Central Bank of Barbados' 2018 Distinguished Visiting Fellow, and I'm delighted to be absorbing your beautiful island. Over the next few days, I'll meet and chat with different groups, and on Tuesday, March 27th from 8:30 p.m., I invite you to converse with me and Julian Rogers on the topic, Looking Forward, How can Caribbean nations respond to global developments, of which there are many? The conversation takes place live on CBC TV8, VOB 92.9, CBC 94.7, CMC member stations across the Caribbean, and on www.centralbank.org.bb and Facebook. It's an occasion that you should not miss. Tune in.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. And we go to St. Lucia, where market vendors in the Castries market are counting their losses from an early morning fire yesterday. The incident occurred at the start of Holy Week, a typically high sales period for the vendors. We get more in this report from HTS News.
What type of individual would burn down the stalls of hard-working vendors, and even worse, during Holy Week? Or was it an accident? These are the burning questions on the minds of vendors and other individuals engaged in commercial activity at the Reclamation Grounds section of the Castries market. The week leading up to Good Friday is traditionally known as a period of high economic activity, particularly for vendors of ground provisions and fish. But at least 3 vendors have had to delve into their pockets to quickly replace their stalls, among other things, which were completely incinerated in an early morning fire. Just after 5 o'clock Monday morning, Giseline Estava arrived at the Reclamation Grounds, where she has plied her trade for the last 6 years, to find that hers was one of the booths set ablaze.
When I entered the entrance, I seen, because I always used to take out my tarpaulin, and when I arrived, I didn't took it out the Saturday. So when I arrived there, I seen everything. They're looking strange. I seen my tarpaulin is not there. I seen my trays, my bench. Everything is black. Everything burned down. I seen, what? When I check on the other side, I seen some flames still going on with my friends, stuff, grapefruit, tomatoes. All that got burned down. I myself was shocked. I even had a headache. Up to now, I have that headache. But God is in control of everything. I buy some materials to start all over because it's the Easter season.
Sandra Edmond received a call from her next-door neighbor informing of the fire. She quickly left her Barbados Rosé home for the market to see if anything was salvageable. Among the casualties she learned was her entire stock of tomatoes, cucumbers and grapefruits.
On the international scene, Russia is observing a national day of mourning for at least 64 people who died in a fire at a leisure complex. 41 children were among the deceased. Thousands of people were protesting in the Siberian city of Kemerovo in anger at Russian officials. President Vladimir Putin arrived in the area and blamed criminal negligence. Dozens of people, including children, are still missing. Investigators say the fire alarm was switched off and exits were blocked. 4 people have been charged. And that's news this afternoon. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good afternoon.